Triple H really made me mad on Friday night, so I've got to set him straight right here with a countdown, so just keep watching. Welcome to the OK Not OK podcast. I am Doktor O'Kay, where we're always just keeping it real, and today we are counting down the top 10 triple threat matches at WrestleMania since WrestleMania 30. And why are we doing that? Well, because Triple H posted to X after SmackDown on Friday night that this is the biggest triple threat match in WrestleMania history and now officially a main event. What? The biggest triple threat ever? Based on what? Oh, wait, I know what. It's the gate. Yes, I'm sure Triple H will say that the Night 1 WrestleMania main event gave us the biggest gate in WWE history, where it'll then be beaten one day later for Night 2 WrestleMania, but that's beside the point because the gate simply means that is the most money that he took from you idiots out there because the ticket prices are simply out of control, because as of now, the cheapest two-day combo ticket is in section 119 and in section 127, which are behind the Titantron, so you don't even get to see the Titantron, and they still cost $900.55 after fees. But if you only want to go one night for night one only, the cheapest section is in section 429, row 3, and that is $261.65. And obviously that's at the very top of the stadium, so your nose is gonna bleed, and of course you are behind that Titantron. Then for night 2, it's actually a section below, but it is section 329, where you have a few different options in that section, but that'll set you back $286.85. So let's then switch from the cheapest to the most expensive seats, where the most expensive combo ticket is obviously on the floor for section F4, row 4, for a mere $18,887.10. But it gets worse, because the most expensive available seat for one night is section F1, row 2, $12,588.05 after fees. That's the same price for each night. So that just might be why there are thousands of tickets still available as of right now. And I sure hope that you idiots are smart enough to not pay those prices. So I'm sure that's Triple H's only rationale for even pretending that this triple threat match between Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk is the biggest of all time. So let's just do a quick countdown of the top 10 biggest triple threat matches in WrestleMania history since WrestleMania 30, because we don't need to go back even farther than that. So let's get it started with number 10, and we're going right to this one, because there's nothing on the line here in this match. It's just three dudes fighting over pretty much nothing and about just about nothing. So is Seth Rollins really upset that Roman Reigns is taking credit despite not showing up? Yes. You know what? I would be too. That's at least making sense. Is Rollins still mad at CM Punk for leaving 10 years ago and then coming back? Yeah, he is, and I guess that actually makes sense, and maybe Seth Rollins has a couple decent points, but CM Punk shouldn't really be mad at Rollins for much, other than maybe saying a few not-so-nice words, but at least Punk will get a chance to win 2 out of 3 matches against him. Now, is Roman Reigns still mad at Seth Rollins for hitting him in the back with a chair all those years ago? Yes, I'm sure he is, and that's pretty much forever legit, but I have to say it's no more urgent now than it ever was to get his hands on him. And I can't for the life of me see why Roman Reigns and CM Punk would be mad at each other really at all. CM Punk helped Roman Reigns at War Games, so they should be pretty much good to go. It seems like Roman Reigns is just mostly butthurt that Paul Heyman actually has another person who likes him. What a crime that is. So yeah, there's nothing going on here at all. There's not even a future title shot, there's no pretty necklaces, and there's not even a bracelet involved. So yeah, there's just nothing here, guys. So let's go to number 9 with WrestleMania 36. We had a very strange triple threat ladder match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, where John Morrison defeated Jimmy Uso and Kofi Kingston. That was, of course, in the Thunderdome, and it was supposed to include all 6 tag team members, so that wouldn't have even have been eligible for this list. But hey, it was COVID, and not everyone was healthy, so that was the case here. So, oh well, at least there was a title involved. And at number 8, we have WrestleMania 34, where Seth Rollins defeated Finn Balor and the champ, The Miz, to win the Intercontinental title. So Rollins and Balor had a big rivalry going at the time, and The Miz kind of was just the third wheel in here, even though he was the one that had the title. And it did stop Balor from winning his first IC title, though he did get it less than a year later. However, with stomps to both men, this made Rollins a Grand Slam champion. At number 7, we're just going back to last year with WrestleMania 40, where Logan Paul retained the US title by beating RKO, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens, as Orton and Owens became friends following the Elimination Chamber, and they particularly shared their hatred for Logan Paul. And it was certainly fun when Owens backed up his cart so that he could take Orton down to the ring. And we even had ISHO Speed, who later, of course, got speared by Braun Breaker in this year's Royal Rumble. Well, in this particular match, he was dressed as the Prime Bottle, so that did not go particularly well for him there either. Nonetheless, Logan Paul retained in a pretty sad US title run. At number 6, we'll go back just 1 year earlier to WrestleMania 39 as Gunther defeated Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, as this ended up just being another stop in Gunther's 666-day reign as IC champion, and this was indeed banger mania, and it was one of the best matches of the year for the incredible physicality that these 3 men showed. And of course, Sheamus almost won his IC title to become a Grand Slam champion with a couple different brogue kicks along the way, but it never seems meant to be, as Gunther powerbombed both men to retain the title. This quality of match deserves a higher spot on the list, but it just wasn't bigger going into it. At number 5, we have WrestleMania 32 with Charlotte defeating Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks to become the inaugural WWE Women's Champion. Charlotte walked into this match as the Divas Champion and out of it as the Women's Champion, as both the division and the title were rebranded. Of course, that by itself is very significant, but it also included 3 of the biggest women's stars in the history of the WWE in one match, so we certainly can't downplay the significance of it here, though at the time they were just on the rise and not quite yet to their astronomical levels of fame. At number 4, we have WrestleMania 37, where Roman Reigns defeated Daniel Bryan and Edge, as this was Reigns' first WrestleMania win as head of the table to close out night 2 of WrestleMania as the first 2-night Mania with fans in the stands. And at least in this match, this was before Reigns decided never to show up, so we'll at least give him some credit at the time. He did, of course, as always, need a lot of help from Jey Uso, especially to absorb a lot of damage over and over again throughout the match in order for him to retain. But with both the Rumble winner and the Chamber winner as 2 legends in their own right, both of whom we never even thought would get to see a WWE match again after career ending, at the time, injuries, this was certainly a massive main event. Unfortunately, with some concertos and Reigns stacking them, it was just barely enough to keep alive what would become a horrific 1,316-day reign of terror. At number 3, Seth Rollins cashes in at WrestleMania 34 to defeat the champ Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. No, this was not scheduled to be a triple threat, but it was history-making as the first ever WrestleMania cash-in to end the show. And Roman Reigns somehow survived 4 F5s, but he speared Brock Lesnar trying to F5 Seth Rollins, so that just left Reigns vulnerable to be stomped and Rollins to walk out and swing that title above his head in a truly shocking WrestleMania moment. At number 2, we have WrestleMania 35, where Becky Lynch defeated the Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey and the SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair in a winner-take-all match as she became Becky 2 belts, pinning Ronda for the first time in her WWE career. However, this was an easy missed call by the ref as Ronda clearly had one shoulder off of the mat. However, this was the first ever women's match to main event WrestleMania, so it was obviously huge for wrestling at large there, and perhaps the 3 biggest names in combat sports history, especially with the birth of the man planting herself at the top of the list, so it is hard to beat this one in its significance. But at number 1, yes, it is WrestleMania at WrestleMania 30 as Daniel Bryan defeats the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Randy Orton and the Royal Rumble winner Batista to become an A+ player. And every once in a while, something truly magical happens in a WWE ring, and Daniel Bryan went through the ringer just to get to this WrestleMania, first being able to escape the Wyatt family, and then he was left out of the Royal Rumble entirely and completely put down by the Authority until the Yes Movement was just so unstoppable that they hijacked Raw, and Daniel Bryan forced the Authority's hand to give himself a shot at WrestleMania. So he only got a show opening match against the Game, and only by winning that match was he added to the main event to make it a triple threat. And of course, against all odds, Daniel Bryan pulled off a miracle. So was this match about 1 million times bigger than this year's triple threat match? You know what the answer is. Yes, yes, yes. We still have an unresolved situation regarding another 3-person feud for the Women's World Championship. So could that even surpass this men's match? I think the answer again, yes. And if you missed my grades for that match and the rest of Raw, be sure to go right on over here and check that out. Because if you don't, just like Triple H being a complete liar about the importance of the men's triple threat match, that would be not okay.